Discovery 1. The experiment that froze time. In 2010, physicists at Oxford tried to measure what happens when atoms decide to change state. They expected a smooth transformation, a measurable transition from one form to another. Instead, the change happened instantly. No middle point, no in-between. Time, it seemed, had skipped. They called it the quantum Zeno effect, the strange rule of quantum mechanics, where if you observe something closely enough, you can stop it from evolving at all. Imagine staring at a candle flame so intently that it forgets how to burn. To the scientists, this wasn't just bizarre, it was terrifying. Because if time is truly made of moments stitched together by observation, then reality itself only happens when something, or someone, is watching. It means the universe doesn't move forward unless awareness gives it permission to. And when awareness looks too closely, the motion stops, time freezes, reality holds its breath. Discovery 2. The reversed particle. In 2018, physicists studying particle collisions inside a quantum computer found something impossible, a particle that appeared to move backward in time. At first they dismissed it as an error, a glitch in the math, but every replication showed the same anomaly. Some particles behaved as if cause followed effect, not the other way around. Imagine you drop a glass, and it shatters into dust. Now imagine watching that dust leap back together piece by piece, not in reverse footage, but in reality. The researchers described it as local time reversal, a system that, under specific conditions, forgets the future before it forgets the past. What they found suggested that entropy, the law that dictates time's one-way flow, isn't absolute, it's negotiable, reversible, and if even one atom can rewrite its timeline, then maybe so can we. Discovery 3. The photograph of the past. In 2013, researchers at the University of Illinois captured an image of a laser pulse moving through a bottle of water. It wasn't a simulation. They photographed light itself, the fastest thing in the universe, and froze it frame by frame. When the footage was replayed, the light didn't move like a beam. It moved like a memory. Each pulse seemed to hesitate, as if aware that it was being watched. The researchers realized they weren't watching light move, they were watching its record. Light, it turns out, carries within it a copy of everything it touches, like time, writing on glass. So when you look into a mirror, you're not seeing yourself, you're seeing the you from 0.0000003 seconds ago, a version already gone. Every reflection, every photograph, every shimmer is time remembering you for just a little longer. Discovery 4. The dream that predicted itself. In 1972, a man named Chris Robinson reported dreaming of a plane crash. The next morning, the crash happened. Different city, different people, but the same moment. At first, scientists called it coincidence, until Robinson volunteered for a sleep lab. For 6 weeks, researchers recorded his REM patterns, his words, his drawings. The dreams predicted real-world events with eerie accuracy, more than 60% of the time. It wasn't prophecy, it wasn't magic. It was about information leaking through. The human mind, it seems, isn't bound to the same timeline as the body. When you dream, you might be wandering through time, but not as a traveler, as a witness. Dreams, perhaps, are how consciousness remembers the future. Discovery 5. The message that arrived too soon. In 2009, a small observatory in Colorado picked up a repeating signal, a transmission that appeared to be from themselves. It was identical to a calibration pulse they'd sent into space months earlier, but the return signal came before they sent it. They checked every variable, every cable, every line of code, and yet the delay was negative by a full 4.7 seconds. NASA quietly reviewed the data. The conclusion was inconclusive. Officially, it was equipment error. Unofficially, one engineer called it a temporal echo. If information can move backward, then maybe time is not a line, but a loop, and maybe everything we'll ever say has already been said. Discovery 6. The clock that ran backward. In 1958, an engineer named Lucien Laborde built a clock that wouldn't stop running backward. He didn't design it that way. It simply refused to move forward. The mechanism was flawless, every calibration checked, yet the second hand ticked back toward the past, with perfect rhythm. He rebuilt it 6 times. Each one behaved the same. Finally, he gave up and began to keep it as is. He recorded its rhythm for years. Every tick matched real-time seconds, just reversed. What fascinated physicists wasn't the clock, but the fact that nothing about it broke physics. The laws still held. It was a reminder. Time's direction isn't written in nature. It's written in perception. Discovery 7. The Man Who Remembered Tomorrow. In 1983, a neurologist in London documented a case unlike any other, a man named Harold who claimed to remember tomorrow. When questioned about his memories, he described details that hadn't yet occurred: minor news, a phone call, a train delay. Each came true within hours. Medical tests showed no delusion, no psychosis. Harold's brain scans revealed something else entirely. His hippocampus fired in reverse order of normal memory retrieval. He wasn't recalling the past, he was replaying the future. When asked what it felt like, he said, like déjà vu, stretched over days. His doctors called it a neurological curiosity, but others called it proof that time doesn't just flow through us. Sometimes we flow through. Discovery 8. The camera that filmed the impossible. In 2016, a high-speed physics experiment in Tokyo captured something that shouldn't exist. A laser beam splitting in two, one moving forward, the other backward. The footage lasted only microseconds, but what they saw defied causality. One beam seemed to arrive before it was emitted. The light's effect preceded its cause. When asked to explain, one researcher simply said, "The equations allow it. The universe just rarely agrees." It hinted at a deeper symmetry, that every action in the universe has a twin event moving in the opposite direction. Not destruction, not reversal, but balance. The illusion of time moving forward might only exist because we can't see its counterpart moving backward. Discovery 9. The Sound That Never Faded. In 2015, astrophysicist Caltech detected a signal buried deep in cosmic background noise, a vibration older than galaxies, older than light itself. At first they thought it was static, but as they filtered the data, they found something strange. The signal wasn't fading, it was looping. Every 12.1 seconds, the same pulse repeated, not like an echo, but like a heartbeat. Some believe it's a star collapsing and reforming. Others think it's the sound of time remembering its own creation. Whatever it is, it's still playing. Across billions of years, the same note, sustained. The universe, it seems, still hums with its own beginning. Maybe time never moved forward. Maybe it vibrated, like a chord held forever on the edge of silence. Discovery 10. The Mirror Universe. There's a theory most physicists avoid speaking about, the Janus point hypothesis. It suggests that the Big Bang didn't create one universe, but two, one moving forward in time and one moving backward. To us they look like opposites, but from outside time they're a single motion, reflected through symmetry. If that's true, then in another universe there may be someone, just like you, watching this same moment move the other way. And when you sleep, when you dream, maybe that's when your reflections meet. Time disappears, and only awareness remains. So what if time never moves, because there's nowhere for it to go? What if every instant, every heartbeat, every falling leaf, every ending already exists, stacked like pages in an invisible book? We only see one page at a time, but the story is already written. Maybe memory isn't how we look backward. Maybe it's how we move forward, through the archive. And maybe the reason time feels like it's flowing is because awareness is reading it, line by line, moment by moment. Not the world changing, but perception turning. The still point: if the universe is a memory, then consciousness is the one remembering, and what we call time is just the rhythm of that remembering. Maybe there was never a beginning. Maybe there will never be an end. Only awareness, breathing through itself, watching its own reflection move. So when you look at the clock and feel a second slip away, remember, it didn't move. You did. And maybe time isn't something we move through. Maybe it's something that moves through us. The signature of the hidden pattern. If this journey left you with a question or a quiet sense of something remembered, follow it. Subscribe, not for answers, but for reminders. Because what we explore here are not theories. They are echoes of a truth older than time. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it. That hidden rhythm, still breathing through everything. That there is the hidden pattern.